Jaron, congrats on a big win in your first collegiate game. When you were thinking about this upcoming season, especially when you were named starter, did you envision what you might be able to do out there? And do you feel like you kind of executed on what you were hoping you might be able to do coming into this game?
I mean, first and foremost, I just got to give all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, blessing me with the ability to play this game. And, just once I got the nod that I was the starter, I just had that mindset that we're here to win. And, all the guys felt that. And, as you can see today, we had a good performance, but it wasn't our best. And, we're just going to see it each week by week, and we're going to continue to get better.
Obviously, the college game isn't as simplified as this, but it almost seemed like you were out there playing playground ball sometimes with those deep balls, like go deep and I'll hit you. Did it kind of feel like that a little bit sometimes?
Man, that was fun, but it kind of felt like that. They gave us a lot of man, and I was just trusting in my guys to go win those 50-50 balls, and they came down with it.
Can you talk a little bit about the job the offensive line did blocking for you, no sacks allowed in the game?
Man, that O-line, they just made my job easier. I mean, they were holding for 4 or 5 seconds, and I was just sitting back there clean. And just so much props to them for just their hard work and what they went through the off season. And I mean, we have a great O-line, and it's showing.
Jaron, what was it like to make your debut? As a freshman, that was your introduction to the Cal fan base on the field. And then, secondly, did you expect to score that way?
I mean, you want to come with the mindset that you're going to score every single drive, and we had that mindset going in there. We're not backing down. We're going to score, and we had some nice. Tron had that nice grab to get us going on my first pass, and Mason just came up clutch with that nice catch that he had, and we just punched it in.
Jaron, you mentioned earlier in the week that you relished the fact that this start would come on the road with confidence that not many of us can really emulate. As it played out over the course of the game, you can see that it made a world of difference. But why was that the right combination for you and the right sort of secret sauce to get your college football career started?
I just think it was really our coaches, just putting a great game plan for us. And it was really just me trusting the system and trusting my guys that, they gave me confidence out there to be able to do that. And, just props to them. And, just so grateful we came out with that dub and we stayed injury-free.
Yeah, Jaron, no sacks tonight, no turnovers. Can you just talk about how important that is for you to go on the road and, not have the other team out by giving them turnovers like that?
It was just, that was a big thing for me, especially coming from high school, is, not always having that deep shot and, just taking care of the ball. That was a big thing. And, I took the shots when they were there, and, my guys were just coming down with it. So it was really just, once that second half got over with and, we were third quarter going into fourth, it was really just taking care of the ball. And, the O-line did great, just pushing us forward, getting yards and running out that clock.
Jaron, a couple of things. One, real quick, I believe your family was here at the game, and you talked about talking with them after the game of what their response was. And the other thing was that Coach Wilcox was real pleased with your game, but said you'll continue to grow and learn. What do you think you did well, and what do you think you need to do better?
I think what I did well on was taking what the defense was giving me, and hitting those home run balls when it's there. That's what I got to work on. And we had a few chances that we could have hit, but I just got to make better throws. And I know my guys will come down with it all the time.
And your family's reaction today?
Oh man, they're just so happy for me. I was happy for them. Just that they were happy. Just getting to see a smile on my mom and my dad's face, and that I got to play in my first college game, and that it went not too bad.
Was this kind of everything you hoped it would be?
I expected, it wasn't the best game. I felt we left some points on the field. There's so much more to learn from this game. But it was a great game, but there's always so much more we can improve on.
Jaron, it's easy to see that you're experiencing a lot of these things for the first time, but what was the most surprising thing, whether from any aspect of tonight, that was the most surprising to you?
I'd really say the fan base and how deep and how crazy it was just seeing so much fans fill up the stage. And, you know, it was so surreal, you know, unlike anything I've been in before, you know, especially coming from high school. But just getting to experience a road game for my first game, you know, being in enemy territory, you know, going against a good team. I'd say that's pretty. I enjoyed that as my first game. You know, it wasn't. You know, it was able to get me out of my comfort zone, and you know, we just had a great game plan, and we succeeded in it.
Jaron, we talked to you on Tuesday. You said something to the effect of, you know, my teammates have been telling me I'm going to have nerves, I'm going to have a throw or two that I would like back, but to play through it. Well, watching on TV, when you're 6 for 6 for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns on your first drive, it doesn't appear that you had any nerves. Did you have nerves? And how did you mask them if you did, or did you not really have any nerves?
Of course, I had some nerves going into the game. You know, I was just anxious. It wasn't really nervous about, you know, doing bad or playing bad. It was just really anxious about going on there with my brothers and, you know, being able to compete against such a good team. And, you know, once we got on that field, you know, I just soaked it all in, got my first pass completed. And, you know, it was just really up from there. Once, you know, I took that first pass and Jaron came down with it, I just felt so confident that we're just going to keep rolling.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jaron, how excited are you to play in front of Bears fans for the first time next week?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just excited to, you know, play in front of them and just hopefully just have a great game for them, and you know, just really loving the support that they, you know, the Bear fans came to Corvallis, and you know, I'm just so grateful that we had a lot of people show out and show love.
Perfect. Thanks, Jaron.
Thank you.